What's up, everybody? Johnny Bo here. Super Mario Odyssey is in a little over 2 months, and I'm super excited for that game. Super Mario is my favorite series, and I'm really excited for that game. So I wanted to do something a little special, a little different today. I wanted to do a top 5 Super Mario games. Now, this is a list based on my opinions. I know you might have different views on what's the best Mario games, but these are my favorite games, and I'm super excited to share them with you. So here we go, let's get started. At number 5, we have Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins for the Game Boy. Now this might not be on all your lists because it's kind of niche and out there. But when I was growing up, I had a Game Boy Pocket, and the first game that I got for the Game Boy Pocket was the Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins. And I just loved the heck out of this title. It was different than the console Mario games that I had experienced before. I mean, the pixels were nice and big. The enemies were different than what you usually have. I mean, you still have like the Koopas and Goombas and stuff, but there were some different enemies. There's actually boss battles. So the worlds were set up. I think there was like 4 or 5 stages in each world, and then you have a boss battle. And they weren't like, it wasn't like you know, the Koopa Kids, or it wasn't like the like just fighting Bowser. They had different types of enemies. Like one was a big bird. I remember that. There's also these 3 pigs, which was kind of cool. Yeah, it was just a different little title. I mean, it was short. It was sweet. I mean, you didn't have to do everything in order. I think there were some places that were locked off, but you could do one of 2 worlds. Like it was nice. It was a nice change from the normal Super Mario games, and I really enjoyed it. That's why it's in my top 5. At number 4, we have Super Mario 3D Land for the Nintendo 3DS. This is another handheld game, but back like 10 years ago, say about 10 years ago when I went to college, I stopped playing Nintendo games because it was all about that Xbox. So I just stopped playing Nintendo games, and it was Super Mario 3D Land was the first Nintendo game I came back after I got out of college, after I went back to what I knew that I loved. I knew I loved Nintendo, so I bought a 3DS, and the first game I bought was Super Mario 3D Land. Loved every second of it. Now, I'm more of a 2D platformer fan than I am of the 3D Super Mario games, so this was a nice little blend of the 3D and the 2D. I just loved every second of it. It was fun to play as Mario and Luigi, go back through all the levels. I mean, the first 8 worlds were pretty easy, but then when they got into the next 8, they kind of revamped them. There were some time trials. I love this game. I think it's one of the best games on Nintendo 3DS. I definitely want to go back to it again, but it was just a nice little change from, you know, the normal 3D games and the normal 2D games. And the sequel, I don't know if it could be the sequel on the Wii U. See, I was debating on either putting the 3D Land or 3D World in, but since 3D Land kind of holds a special place in the heart, why I came back to Nintendo, that's why I chose Super Mario 3D Land over Super Mario 3D World, but that is also a fantastic game. Definitely check them both out if you haven't. But yeah, Super Mario 3D Land, number 4 on my list. At number 3, we have Super Mario Sunshine for the Nintendo GameCube. Now, I didn't have a 64 growing up, so I didn't put that much time into Super Mario 64, and playing it on the channel just made me realize that I do definitely like Sunshine more than 64. So, yeah, that's why it's on my list at number 3. It was such a fun little title. I mean, it was weird, like, coming off of 64. Like, who knew? Like, who would have ever expected Sunshine to come out of that? It's just completely out of the blue. I mean, who would have expected something like Flood to happen? Flood made for interesting platforming techniques. It was just neat to see what they changed. The location was fantastic. My favorite area in this game was the amusement park. It was just so fun, just running around, climbing up giant Ferris wheels. This game was another sandbox style that I can't wait for Mario Odyssey to be. There's nice little like secrets and stuff all hidden about. This is the first one that Bowser Jr. was in. You could ride around on Yoshi and spit out juice from fruit. Delfino Plaza has probably the best music in any Mario game. It was so vibrant. They need to remaster this game. They need to put it on the Switch in HD. It would be so beautiful. I just want that to happen. I love this game, and that's why I put it on this list at number 3. At number 2, we have Super Mario World for the SNES. Now, this is going to sound biased because, I mean, this is biased, and my whole list is kind of biased just because of how I went about playing these games. The Super Nintendo was the first system that I had as a kid, and it was like mine, and Super Mario World was the first game that I've ever owned. I remember waking up Christmas morning and setting this up, and it was so fun. Myself and my sister played it. Like, we hooked it up, we played it. It was such a blast. But that's not the only reason I put it on this list. It is a fantastic game. I could still play it today. I still do play it today. I've played it multiple times. There's so much to do in it. There's so many secrets. This is the first one with Yoshi. You could actually ride on Yoshi. It had the different colored Yoshis. You had the blue, the yellow, the red. Oh god, I just think about it back on it now. It's just such a fun game. I bought it like 6 or 7 times, and I'm probably gonna get the SNES Classic Edition, so that'll be another time, and I'll buy it till the day I die on every system that they release it on, because it is such a fantastic game. It will always hold a special place in my heart. I can't speak highly enough of it, just because it's part of who I am. It's part of why I'm here. It's just not just a game to me. It is why I started. And I love Mario. I love Super Mario World. If you haven't played it, you definitely have to check it out. It's one of the best games of all time. And yeah, that's why I put it on my list at number 2. And at number 1, we have Super Mario Bros. 3. Now, I was going back and forth on if I should put Super Mario Bros. 3 or World at the top spot, because I love them both. But there were a couple reasons why I chose to put 3 over World. First of all, I think Nintendo really hit their stride with 3. Super Mario Bros. 1 is a fantastic game. I was going to put that on the list as well, but then the whole list would have just been the original, like, 4 Super Mario Bros. Games. So I decided just to choose one from the NES era, and that would be Super Mario Bros. 3, and that's because the overworld is just something so unique and so special to Super Mario Bros. 3. I mean, there's hidden secrets everywhere. There was little games that popped up, which I love the Match 2 games. I also love the, I don't even know what it's called, but where you try to make a star or a mushroom. I would never win it, but I like those games. I liked when they popped up. It was such a cool little neat feeling when that little Match 2 popped up, and you got to go back and try that out. And if you played with somebody else, you could like go against them in the original Mario Brothers, which was really neat. A really neat throwback to the original Mario Brothers. There's so many secrets. I mean, you can find the warp whistles. I still know where all the warp whistles are, and I will always know until I go old and senile. But if I ever lose my memory, somebody will ask me where the warp whistles are, and I will tell them exactly where they can find them. That's how much I know them. So the overall was fantastic. Another reason is because the power-ups in this game were incredible. I mean, this is where you had the Tanuki suit, you had the frog suit, you had the Hammer Bros suit, you had the boot. They just had a lot of fun with the power-ups in this game, and I wish some of them would have came back. Like the frog suit was my favorite, but this game had the greatest power-ups that I think any of the 2D games had. So yeah, I love Super Mario Bros. 3. I think it's the best game in the series. I think it's one of the best games of all time. I think it's one of the best games of all time, if not the best game of all time. I just love this game so much. I will buy it, just like Super Mario World. I will buy it whenever they release it. I already own it again like 6 or 7 times, but it's just that good. If you haven't played it, you should definitely go back and play it. It holds up. I know it's from the NES era, but it definitely holds up. Definitely go check that out. But yeah, Super Mario Bros. 3 is my favorite Super Mario game, and it might be my favorite game of all time. Well, there you have it, my top 5 Super Mario games, getting ready for Super Mario Odyssey, which comes out October 27th. Can't wait for that. I'm super excited. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments. Let me know what you had to eat for dinner. I don't care what you put in there. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Catch y'all later.